Now, my students, we are on page 61 in activity section. The title is You Look Fit, Joe. Now, down of the timetable, we have exercise number 2. It says, arrange these words to make sentences. We have many words that are separated from each other and that are put randomly. We need to order them in order to have a completed sentence. We have the word, the first one is done for you. Let's move to the second. Hardly, they, tennis, play, ever. When I say hardly ever, هي قلما أو نادرا جدا. We can say, yes, let's help together in order to do this exercise. We can say, for example, they hardly ever play tennis. يعني قلما يلعبون التنس. Let's move to exercise to number 3. Go, do, often, jogging, how, you. When I say jogging, it means الهرولة أو الركض ببطء. Now we need to make a question form, it seems. We say, look at the question mark at the end of the gap. We say at the beginning question word, which is how often. How often, when I say how often, it means كم مرة. ليس غالبا هنا يتغير معناها. How often do you go jogging? Yes, in this way. How often do you go jogging? Yes. Let's move number 4. Number 4, we have the word often, mornings, do, on, we, yoga, Sunday. Now we need to have a completed sentence. We say at the beginning the subject, which is we. We often do yoga on Sunday mornings. I'll repeat it. We often do yoga on Sunday mornings. Yes, number 5. We have ever, Charlie, do, does, aerobics. Aerobics هي تمارين aerobic. We have now question form. At the beginning we need an auxiliary, which is does. Does Charlie ever do aerobics? Yes, in this way I will repeat it. Does Charlie ever do aerobics? Number 6. Do, on, you, what, usually, Saturdays, do. Now look at the question mark that is existed at the end of the gap. We need now question word, which is what. What do, the auxiliary. What do you do on, what do you usually, we have the adverb usually. What do you usually do on Saturdays? I'll repeat it. What do you usually do on Saturdays? Yes, this is the end of exercise. Let's move to exercise number 3 on page 62. On page 62, exercise number 3, we have now 3 questions. They are how often do you, and complete, etc. Do you ever, etc. And what do you usually, etc. We need to practice these 3 questions upon the answers that are existed in this exercise. Number 1, it is done for you. Number 2, at the beginning we have to read the answers, and from these answers we can make our question. Number 2 says, well, I usually do karate on Saturday and yoga on Sundays. This is an answer. Now, what's the suitable question for A? Yes, we can say, what do you usually do? What do you usually do? Yes. Number 3. Let's move to the answer. دعونا ننتقل إلى الإجابة. No, I never go to the gym after work. Gym, it is a club for playing gymnastics. Yes. No, I never go to the gym after work. We need to have a question for this answer. No, it means that we have yes, no question. We say, do you ever go to the gym after work? Yes, now number 4. The answer says, I don't exercise very often at all. Now we need a question. The suitable question, how often? How often do you exercise? How often do you exercise? Question mark. Now number 5. Number 5 says the answers. Yes, I sometimes play sports on weekends, usually baseball. Now we need a question. Look at this answer. This answer starts with yes. It means that we have now yes no question. Do you ever play sports on weekends? This is a question. Do you ever play sports on weekends? Now let's move to number 6. I usually play tennis in my free time. What is the suitable question for this? We can say, what do you usually do in your free time? I'll repeat it. What do you usually do in your free time? Yes, this is the end of this exercise. Let's move to page number 63. Yes. On page 63, the question says, complete this conversation, write the correct prepositions in the correct places. As I told you, my students, the preposition exercises are important. You have to focus upon it. Well, now we have conversation between Anita and Terry. We have 3 choices. It is multiple choice question. We need to choose only one preposition. The first one. What time do you go jogging in the morning, Terry? It is done for you, محلول in Terry. I always go jogging 7 o'clock. Before clocks we say at. Therefore, I always go jogging at 7 o'clock. We say at. Yes. How about you, Anita? Anita, I usually go jogging. We have the word noon. We need to say in noon. Noon فترة الظهيرة. I jog about an hour. Look at about an hour. We need to say for about an hour. I jog for about an hour. We choose the word for. Terry, and do you also play sports your free time? We need in your free time. In. Anita, not very often. I usually go out my classmates in my free time. I said I usually go out with my classmates. Yes. What about you, Terry? I go to the gym Mondays and Wednesdays. We need to use the word on Mondays and Wednesdays before the days. And sometimes I go bicycling weekends. We need to say on weekends. On weekends. Anita, wow, you really like to stay in shape. Stay in shape, it means, it is an idiom, it means تحافظ على اللياقة. Stay in shape. Yes. Now, this is the end of this exercise. My students, you have homework. Exercise number 6 and exercise number 7, 8, 9. You have to do these exercises yourself. دمتم بخير.